I don't remember if we've seen this testimony when I was about to start the cross-examination or not, because the save I made at the start of it broke. Every time I tried and load it, like, Ace Attorney Online just kind of freaks out for a moment and then refreshes. It refreshes and starts from scratch, so that doesn't really help all that much. So, first off, why would I even steal the mask? I'm a detective. Second, what if there was an extra person there? Maybe we missed a secret passage in the search. Third, what if Star wanted to take the mask, but you took it first right after she disabled the alarm? I know we haven't seen eye to eye on a few things, pal. I know I've made a bunch of mistakes. I know I've been many things in my life. But, I'm not a thief. Gumshoe, I don't really think you did it either, right? Just what am I trying to do here? I'm hearing voices here. What's that drug done to me? What do I do? This is becoming a very interesting dilemma. Like, my suspicion is that the voice in our head is the character we're playing as in the hotel segment. That being, my suspicion is that this is Desiree. Not sure how this is all linked yet. In other words, you want me to prove your motive. I have no reason, period. Is that really true? Bit of an odd direction to take the argument in. I'm forced to agree. Why on earth would the museum have a secret passage? That's not impossible. Renovations can cover up some entrances and exits. Maybe in the past, the museum was a medieval castle with the secret passages to lead the king away. We're in America, though. That wasn't really a thing. Oh, did you say that for sure? High school history? Well, I don't know if you're even telling the truth, as I barely passed that, pal. Now eat your hamburger rice balls. Perhaps we should move on to your last point, detective. I have to wait to the secret passage of the museum. That'll inevitably be proven. I wonder if there's something here I can use to my advantage in my defense. What if some of his defenses could be inadvertent admissions of potential police oversights? Just see if I've understood you correctly. You're saying me and Mrs. Starr both wanted to steal the mask, but we're working independently. Our plan involved taking out the security before stealing it. While she was doing that, unbeknownst to her, I stole the mask myself? Exactly. That way I have nothing to do with any of this, right? Of all 3 points, I would argue this is the one holding the most reason, Airshoe. Oh, thanks, pal. Something tells me, however, that Airwright is not entirely convinced by it. Just give me a moment to think here. 3 core arguments. 3 lines of attack. Feels horrible to actually say it like that. Attack. Gumshoe's competence has always been questionable at best, but even so, would he really become a thief? Damn it! I hate this! Is there fault in the outside cameras, then? Objection! False! I'm really sorry to be doing this, Gumshoe. You don't look sorry at all. Hey, don't look at me like that. Just look. I have some evidence, okay? It'll make you feel all nice and better. Evidence? That evidence right there? Yeah, this evidence right here. Right there? Right here. You mean the evidence that shows you did it? Yeah. You almost got me. I almost did, didn't I? You almost did, you little rascal. Oh. and evidence still doesn't prove anything, so I still got you. Better rethink this. Does the save still work? Yes. Can we give you money, Gumshoe?
Objection!
Okay, no. Same dialogue. Or, rather, we can give you money here. And so we're asking about motive.
Objection!
This feels wrong. By not making the point will feel even worse. He's my friend. And if he's innocent, he'll be able to prove it eventually. He brought up a point. There's a counter-argument to that point. Otherwise, you know you'll always see yourself as an idiot. You just need some more time to think of something better. Then buy it. Right now. You are a detective. One that's taken several pay cuts over the years and a recent demotion. Being an art antiques is not a demotion. Sure, the pay's lower, but I'm a married man with a kid on the way. But the pay's still lower. And it's precisely because you need money to support that family. I should have an incentive to steal the mask. With your knowledge of working in the art division, you would have known how to sell it. No! No! There's no way I'll give up. I've still got arguments. Do we prove these points? Nope, okay. Thought that would be the,
Objection!
not there.
Objection!
False. Oh, don't give me that. I'm not sure where this is going, but...
Objection!
We'll present the mask here. And that works for some reason. This is kind of a roundabout way of showing it. But it's still a good point. One that doesn't imply Gumshoe's guilt, even. But also a total mistake. Showing his guilt is exactly what you should be driving towards. Don't muddy the waters here. He didn't do it. I'm sure of it. There is a better way. It's not going to work, but by all means. So you're admitting that your search for the museum wasn't definitive? I mean, I'd imagine a whole crew of police investigators would be able to spot a secret passage. I mean, there's a reason why they're called secret, but... I guess that would imply that the search wasn't that definitive, yeah.
Objection!
I'm afraid I don't really subscribe to the secret passage idea. But, by admitting that, you admit that there's a chance that the mask is still in the museum and could be hidden. If it is, it's entirely possible that Miss Starr acted alone. Hey, yeah.
Objection!
Afraid I can't accept that, Detective. There's been plenty of time for the museum to be searched by now. The mask wasn't found, and there are no secret passages. End of story. No, there's no way I'll give up. I've still got arguments. I don't understand how we get here, but...
Objection!
The outside camera's here. This is the first point where the answers start to get questionable. The strongest point in the argument you're making isn't up to par, is it? I don't want to make the point anyway. This is Gumshoe, for crying out loud. Damn it, I've got to think. You say that like other people you know haven't let you down or betrayed you. How far should I go down your memory lane here, Phoenix? Dahlia, Ungard, Zack, Crystal? They're not Gumshoe. You saw them as someone other than who they really were once. That's how deception works, Phoenix. Afraid I can't agree with that idea. Your argument explains why the mask wasn't found, sure. Even in that hypothetical scenario, you can't claim that's what happened. Not without subscribing to the part of my theory where you're involved. But the whole point of my argument is that I'm not involved, pal. I'm aware, but think about it. In your scenario, what would have happened if I hadn't been there? Miss Star steals the mask, and then what? She can't get it out of the museum because of the cameras surrounding it. It's the same problem. Okay, good point. Alright, now that makes sense. The only way out of it, without implicating herself, is if she passed it to someone. If it was a normal visitor or an employee, they would have come under suspicion. The moment the mask disappeared. If it was someone who would have naturally shown up after the mask was stolen, and hid it on themselves without anyone noticing, Miss Star would have been in the clear, because there would have been no way for her to hide it. But it doesn't have to be me, it could be someone else in the department, right? You were the first one to show up on the scene. So what? Maybe someone else was supposed to show up. When she realized you stole the mask, maybe she called them off from showing up. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Is there any proof of such a communication happening? Not to my knowledge, no. Of course, if the accomplice is a part of the investigative team, they could have removed that proof. But debating on a proof that might have existed is a waste of time. We can only work with what we have, and what we have is nothing. Nothing to suggest that Miss Star stopped the arrival of her inevitable accomplice. What if I was just at the scene? I seem to remember you saying you were first on the scene by a considerable amount. Our accomplice shouldn't have lagged that far behind. Unless the accomplice was you. Go. Enough. We are drifting further and further from the facts and evidence. Please. Unfortunately, the fact does appear to be that Fraulein Star disabled the alarm. And, while I admit Airwright's arguments were speculative at best, his logic was sound to me. While preposterous, there may be some merit in exploring the possibility. But I really didn't. That Airshoe here is the culprit. It all comes down to one thing. Does the defense formally accuse the detective of participating in theft? Oh no. Oh no, we get the choice. We get the choice. Unless this choice is a false one, let's not accuse. Thanks for your advice so far, I guess. But I already made my decision about this a while ago. I've been buying time to try and find other ideas. But time's up, and I've got nothing else. So I've got to do the only thing I can do. The defense does not believe Detective Gumshoe to have anything to do with the crime. I want to see something. Yep, okay. We are the dark blue voice. Making these decisions. And now, Phoenix is taking back the puppet strings for himself. The defense was merely exploring all avenues of reasoning. The truth is, the defense can find no real evidence to indicate him capable of doing this. The fact is that Angel Star disabled the system, nothing more. The rest will have to be determined through evidence. Pal! I believe you just threw away your one way out of this mess, right? Whatever. I know he didn't do it. Well, of course you... Whoa! You would know. After all, with Airshoe in the clear, we're back to you as the prime suspect. Right where we should be. And I disagree with that. Very simple. It's not simple at all. After all, the prosecution's official position is now similar to Airshoe's third line of defense. Fraulein Star disabled the alarm independently or in coordination with you. But the person who took the mask is you. You say we should focus on the evidence? I agree. Because there was always evidence that you took that mask. I see. That's how it is. You still have an ace up your sleeve. I guess that in turn means you had evidence to point away from Gumshoe. Why not just say so from the beginning? Because they're right. I wanted to see if you would prove me wrong once more. How'd I do? Like a gambler. Even so, your gambles did not entangle an innocent person. That counts for something. But now, like most gamblers, I think it's time for your streak to come to an end. And like most gamblers, I won't believe it till I see it. In that case, allow me to call the prosecution's final witness. It's the person who will prove you had the mask. The prosecution calls Desiree Delight to the stand. What? Bet you're wishing you could have accused the good detective while you still had the chance. Hi. Fitness, your name and occupation if you'd be so kind. Should I take the silence as a good or a bad sign? I mean, given the look on her face. Witness, are you with us? Desiree Delight, unemployed. Sorry, last few days have been a bit exhausting. And this scheduled trial time isn't really helping, you know. Once again, my sincerest apologies. If you really want to apologize, you can start by telling me where Ronnie is. This is effectively blackmail, you know. Blackmail? Nothing of the sort, Herr Judge. Frau Delight's priorities seem to be slightly misplaced at the moment, that's all. Her husband, you see, is missing. Well, evidently not, since you seem to know where he is. In due time. Given the fact that she seems much more interested to search for him than giving testimony, I had to stretch my own investigative muscles and make it worth her while. You know, if you just tell me, I'd still give you your stupid testimony. Aha, I could do that indeed. It's just that I've heard a rumor or two that you tend to run away from law enforcement. One or two rumors? That's not too bad. Look, whatever. I'll testify, but you better keep your end of the deal.
Objection!
There's no way I'll agree to this. The prosecution is clearly putting pressure on the witness. Hey now, Piano Man here aside, I know what I saw. And what I saw was you, Nicky boy. You with that gold mask. But that's not what we agreed to. She's not allowed to do this. Wow, no honor among thieves. I, for one, am shocked and appalled. Look, I'm dealing with a lot right now. I'd appreciate it if you were quiet. Well, glad the panic started setting in at some point. Also, you're hearing an unknown voice in your head. Shouldn't that be your priority? Please, Frau Delight, tell us what you saw. Well, I guess my theory's joshed. And for what it's worth, I am sorry. Huh? Your testimony, if you would. Alright, let's see how this goes. Nicky Boy's low point. It was about 10:30 p.m. I was down in the lobby of Parkview Avenue Hotel having a drink. And who do I see walking by? But my old buddy, Nicky Boy. I tried calling out to him, but he was totally distracted. Didn't even look my way. He was carrying something in his hands, the gold mask you're all after. He totally had it. Interesting. There, all done. That wasn't so hard, was it? And the person you saw was definitely Mr. Right. No doubt about it. Had the beanie and everything. You know, the beanie covers my head. I didn't see my trademark spikes. Can you even be sure it was me? Don't sell yourself short, Nicky boy. You got one of those memorable faces. But hey, if you don't believe me, how would I just prove it to you? Yeah, prove it to me? As you're walking past the lobby, you dropped something. I've still got it. This is yours, right? I was wondering where that was. Well, you know. Funny story, I'd actually lost that a few days ago. And you found it just before the heist, only to lose it again right after. Should take better should take better care of your things there, right? Not what I said. But you did say was that it totally was yours. Nice work. They now have actual evidence to back up her claim, and you have nothing. Well, nothing but the rock. Hope it helps. Ah, alright. Well, looks to be the real deal, at least. I hope you have a good explanation for this, Mr. Wright, for your sake. Of course, Your Honor. I just have a few questions for the witness first. Just that I can't ask most of them. What the hell, Desiree? Why would you even do this? The point was to convince me, not the court. Why should I trust your word? This could only ever land me in jail and nothing else. This is where gambling leads, kids. Quiet. I just need to think here, that's all. What are my options? Do I just come out and reveal everything about the bet now? And if I did, there's still the fact that I don't remember what happened. What changed the evidence? Sure is my low point. Not gonna lie. Alright. What are you doing at the hotel? Renting a room? You know what I mean. The past 7 years have been a wild ride, Nicky boy. Ronnie and I move around a lot. We stopped thinking of having a singular home. Having each other is more than enough. Home is where the heart is, after all. Even if the heart may end up in a jar during an autopsy, it's a nice jar. You know, not quite what I meant, but respectably true. And you were in the lobby by yourself. Nobody can confirm it. If I'd known that Ronnie wouldn't be coming to bed, I would not just be sitting around. He was supposed to be back that night. This is just your word. Okay, I think I know what we need to present here. If we both took the pneumocine, why does she remember this?
Objection!
Can you provide a single reason why she would lie? Reason to lie. If I had that, it'd still be he said, she said. I want to fight back and need something definitive here. I suppose we'll have to take Everride's silence and say no. So please, tell us what you saw.
Hold it!
I wouldn't call us old buddies or anything. He helped Ronnie way back, and I'm grateful for that. Bit of an unexpected career shift. Honestly, you didn't seem the type. Even more honestly, you still don't. Guess that explains why you got caught, huh? I didn't steal anything. And I'll pretend to believe you, okay? For the sake of your testimony, I would prefer it if you didn't pretend. Well, you heard the man. Tough break, Nicky boy. What did you do when you saw Everride?
Hold it!
How can you be sure it was me if I never looked your way? It's an expression, Nicky boy. The lobby was well lit enough for me to see your face plenty of times. And well lit enough to see what you were carrying along. And what would that be, Frau Delight?
Hold it!
I'm not buying any of this. To be fair, you're the last person that needs to buy any of it, Everride. First problem, how would I be dumb enough to carry the thing around openly?
Objection!
These are questions of character and your competence as a criminal. I don't find them particularly compelling in a trial where evidence trumps all. Perhaps you were overconfident. Perhaps you were careless. Perhaps you just forgot a bag to carry it in. It matters not in the end. You were seen with it. Its own, I would maybe agree to question it. Coupled with the evidence against you, however.
Hold it!
Getting awfully cocky, aren't we? Second problem. How certain can Mr. Light be that it was the mask, exactly? I have a vested interest in the art world, as you can imagine. The mask is worth a reasonable sum to the right buyer. As far as security goes, not much of a thrill, though. Huh. Wonder why you'd mention something like that. I wonder, too. The point is, I could, and did, recognize this thing anywhere. You know, Prosecutor Gavin, with how much stock you're putting in her testimony, I'm willing to bet nobody else in that lobby saw me with the mask. You think I'd stick out, given my appearance? Have a point. We have yet to find a witness from that time that saw you and stated you carried nothing. Believe it or not, Everett, people have more important things to do than pay attention to you. Are you implying I'm attention hungry? I'm implying that you know what this woman's testimony is, and that this woman's testimony is enough. Whatever chance you had to refute it went out the window the moment you pleaded silence. The fact is, you still haven't broken it speaks volumes, wouldn't you say? The fact that you still haven't broken it speaks volumes. Short and to the point as far as testimonies go. Come on, there's gotta be something. There's gotta be some way out of here. What is Desiree trying to do here? More importantly, the thing that worries me, Amagatama, it's not reacting. Is that even possible, given that she took the Nemo sign? How do you remember this? Feels like we should be able to present this anywhere. But the fact that this points out the exact time
Objection!
makes this the point that we had to present this on. That isn't possible. This whole testimony makes no sense. She can't possibly remember any of this. We took the Nemo sign around 7:30. 10 p.m. is well in the 6-hour range. Yet, Magatama isn't reacting. Not to a single word. Implying that this is the truth. What she believes to be the truth, at least. Maybe they pulled the old switcheroo. Maybe this isn't your precious magical lie detector. No, this is the real deal. I'm sure of it. Okay, don't even consider it. Guess this is an impossible testimony, then. I just need to think this through. Our starting point is in the club. We take the pill. We lose the next 6 hours. That's the assumption. Something about it has to be wrong for this to make sense. Which person's timeline here has to be wrong? It's gotta be Desiree's, right? That's right. Unexperience proves that I at least took the pill. The same can't possibly be said for Desiree, though. Let's see. She's not lying, so she must remember 10 p.m. At the same time, though. Back at the club, the Magatama didn't react either. This means that, at the time, she was earnest in wanting to take the pill. I saw her take it. What does this mean? What happened here? She faked taking it. She believed she was taking Nemo's sign, but it was something else. Well, there's the bigger option, so that has to be the right answer. Know what I mean? It's the only option that makes sense. The only option that explains how she can remember something after 10 p.m. She couldn't have taken the Numa sign at this point, but she believed she was. This raises some other important questions, but let's solve the main issue first. This explains how she remembered what came after. However, judging by her behavior here, I don't think she knows anything about the bed or the arrangements. Because again, she was telling the truth when she said she wouldn't do this. That means that she did end up taking Numa's sign at some point during the night. Let's see. When would she have taken it? Get the girl get X PM. She remembers 10 p.m. So no, I don't think that checks out given the timeline. She has to not remember our meeting, but she has to remember 10 p.m. There's a limit to the point in time where that is possible. 963. If Nima sign. So 3 p.m.? No, I don't think it checks out given the timeline. No later than 4? Exactly. No later than 4 p.m. In other words, Desiree takes a pill before the meeting, but fails to take it during the meeting. She forgets about the meeting, but is mentally around to remember things from 10 p.m. on. This is where we get to those other questions this raises up. Did Desiree knowingly take the pill earlier? I don't think so. No, she couldn't have. Taking it knowingly would have meant that she knew she couldn't remember the bet. If she doesn't remember the bet, she can't hold up her end of the bargain. If she knows that, she's a liar. That's where my Magatama would have come in. You are really milking this gem, you know. All that taken into account implies that someone had likely drugged her without her knowing. Kennedy doesn't seem to remember the bet. It seemed like she got, or was given the idea for it in the 6 hours she had. As soon as the idea was there, she went to act on it. If I had to pick between these two options, I would go with... she was given the idea. What happened in the club itself says a lot. How did she end up not taking the pill with me? I saw her do it. She gave me the pill I ended up taking. Someone was manipulating her. How did they engineer for this to happen? She had a few pills. It was a random choice between them. Did one of them just not work? She took that one. It's just as likely it could have been given to me. Therefore, all pills were real, or all pills were fake? Wait, what? Neither of these can be true. What does this mean? None of the pills were actual pneumocide, which means what I took wasn't pneumocide. I still ended up losing 6 hours. I think I'm finally starting to get the threads of what's going on here. Just need to go a little farther. Time frame matches. I ended up losing 6 hours. So I had to have taken it at the club without realizing it. And it had to have been right around then. I want to create the illusion that Desiree took the pill when she did. Make me believe she would remember the bet. I believed that. When I was inevitably arrested. Worst come to worst, I could have believed that she would show up and save the day. Give me a promise of a safety net, so I let my guard down during the trial. Even beyond that, there's a fake me running around. Could be that they deliberately showed themselves in front of Desiree. This whole moment could have been planned well in advance. If I had rushed into this testimony and started talking about the bet, Desiree would have looked at me like I was crazy, like the rest of the court. The one line that I could try and use to explain myself would have sunk before my very eyes. Damn it. I've been completely had here? Sounding like it. How did it happen, though? How'd they get here? Maybe a spiked drink or something. But given the lack of customers, who would have had the chance to do it? Olga?
Take that!
Is he okay? Did he object? He hasn't said a word. I believe we are on the cusp of one of Air Right's great turnabouts. Hopefully this one won't involve accusing a member of law enforcement or a long-time friend. So, Mr. Light, you remember what you did before you got down to the hotel lobby, right? Of course I do. I woke up from a nap. A 6-hour nap, perchance? Don't tell me. You know, it's funny you saw me at the hotel lobby. It's an interesting coincidence, given that we met earlier that night at the Borscht Bowl Club. I see. I thought it was just my imagination, but my memory was really taken from me. Damn it. Does that have anything to do with Ronnie being missing? Prosecutor, tell me where he is. Now. I think it's time for you to start being honest with me, Air Right. Don't know what's going on here, but something tells me you don't know either. So I will now share something with you, and you will share something with me. Otherwise, I don't think we'll ever get anywhere in this case. You just mentioned the Borscht Bowl Club, and you just made it clear Frau Delight is not just some random bystander. do not know what kind of game this is. But it has gone too far. Regret to inform you, Fraulein, that your husband is dead. His body was found about an hour ago in the basement of the Borscht Bowl Club. No. I'm sorry. I had to get it right to make it relevant to the case. There's no such thing as a coincidence. This is a joke, right? What on earth is wrong with you? Why would you tell her like this? Just as I cannot see the man opposite of me. He cannot see me either. You are right. I found yourself at the center of something. A man is now dead. In the club you work in. The waitress, Olga Orly, disappeared within hours of the mask disappearing. I'm tired and frustrated of your games. I keep saying and I keep asking, and you always play coy. With me, with us, with the system. How can we be better and hold people to a standard you don't hold yourself to? How can we trust you if all you do is spend your days lying and cheating in the basement? The first jury trial, you directly influenced the jury's perception of the case. You can't be dead. You're lying. You're the one playing games. Maybe I don't care as much as I should. Maybe I haven't changed as much as I think I have. Maybe just something that runs in the family. Maybe I'm just that annoyed. Javier. As away, enough silence. Drop the poker face already. And tell me what you know. Well, shit. Day 3. You thinking of your card? Yes. Keep your eyes shut. Concentrate on it. Imagine yourself in your home. The card is in your hand. Look around you. It's a memory. A good one. Keep your eyes on the card. The good memory is playing out. Okay? Yeah? What is my card? 5 of clubs. Correct. It's a good trick. Told you wouldn't figure it out. No, I know. How you do it. Oh? Well, come on, tell us. I realized it. Yesterday. What you do. I heard you. Are we? Say what's on your mind. Why? You can read it, can't you? I try not to. I have a bad tendency of meddling in people's lives that I'm trying to fix. Alright, we get to investigate. Thing here. You know I'm going to investigate. Nothing here, so that's... Notice, though, the dark blue thought text. We're a mind reader. Makes for a good party trick, right? That's about where the glamour ends. You're a kid. You can hear people's thoughts. You tell your parents you're hearing voices. You get locked up. Used for political gain by your dad when he realizes you're not crazy. You know how it goes with these things. I've learned to tune it out over time. My mind wanders and takes a peek here and there. Fortunately, I don't have a long range. Not like I can listen in on the president or something. It's gross and intrusive, I know. As I said, I'm trying here. The only reason why I'm so open about it with you is because you seem to be receptive. Well, that, and she seemed to have literally realized my presence. It's usually the asocial types that get me. Spend so much time in your head, and you'll notice when a voice you're hearing isn't yours. I promise I haven't dug through your head. Just caught a glimpse of an occasional thought or two. Okay, I'll trust you. Thanks. Get out. Truth be told, though, as noble as I like to make myself out to be, the real reason I try not to do it is because I've come to see things I fear. Especially with what happened at a fortune teller's. Fortune teller? That one wasn't supposed to be that wasn't supposed to transmit. Fortune teller. Did it more out of morbid curiosity than anything. My first year of college, I lived in a pretty seedy part of town. Narrow streets, neon lights in every corner, drunkards singing into the night. Perfect place for a little fortune-telling office. It was next to my apartment building. One night those neon lights turned red and gold, and I felt a bit mean, so I paid a visit. I don't remember the fortune teller's name, and she hid her face. What I do remember is her silly little crystal ball. I almost burst out laughing, then and there. We sat in this dimly lit room, and she spoke her magic words into the ball. And she told me, "You're alive for now, but good as dead. I saw it all in my crystal ball." That's pretty funny. Haha, kinda funny too. I was curious what went through a fraud's mind when they spoke that kind of garbage. So I looked, and I saw. I saw her thoughts. I saw what she saw in her crystal ball. And beyond that... What? She was tethered to... somewhere. I caught a glimpse of something greater than us. I think that goes beyond time itself. I was too distracted to focus on it. I saw the faces of the dead. The dead I've known. Whoa. I saw the face of my sister, and she stared right back. I pulled back and ran the hell out of that little office. Ever since then, I keep seeing my sister in my dreams. Every night, without exception. I'd opened up the door. I'd opened the door to somewhere, and she'd escaped. She's haunting me. I desperately need to get away from her. That's how I learned that some doors are better left unopened. And between knowing and not knowing, ignorance is bliss. Oh, sorry for taking up your headspace. It's okay. She still haunts your dreams then? Your sister? Pretty much. She doesn't do anything. She's just there. And I know she's there. It's not like an illusion. She's really here. She's in my head, burrowed somewhere. Her dreams feel like she's trying to figure out how to get out. And I am well aware, because I always remember the dreams. It's the remembering that's the problem, if you ask me. I can't stop her. If she's really somewhere inside me, she's bound to come out. Or just destroy me from within. Or change me without me realizing it. She's always had these plans, my sister. I know her. She never stops. So the best I can do is to try and treat the symptoms. Alive for now, but good as dead. Talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy. I've started taking a drug before I go to bed. Make sure I don't remember the dream. It works. It's had some interesting side effects. At night, I've been having these out-of-body experiences. Like I'm a ghost floating through the world. Go to places I've never seen before and follow people I've never met. To be honest, I'm not sure if any of it is actually real. As I said, my powers are pretty short range, and all in all, if they're dreams, then I haven't caught sight of my sister in any of them. They don't feel like dreams, at least. I keep seeing this one man. It's like I'm stuck in his head, literally. Man in the blue beanie, a lawyer turned gambler. Ugh! That got a reaction. You know him then. Guess the experiences are real then. Man in the beanie. He's landed himself in some hot water. And so have you. But let's not tell her that just yet. Whatever he's caught himself up with, it's connected to what's happening here. I'm certain of it. After all, people who have been trapped here all this time are somehow testifying at his trial. On the first day, it was Star. Just when the second witness was supposed to show up, I woke up. It didn't seem to matter anyway, since the second witness, Lisa, testified on the second day. Now that I think about it, what happened at the end of day one? Hectic as its setup appeared to be, it obviously got extended. But why? The answer should have been somewhere in Wright's mind, but the thing about being in people's heads is that it's a lot easier to dig around the older memories. Fresh stuff still isn't fully settled in, so it's more difficult to know where to look. He himself didn't seem to give it any thought during the second day, at least, so... Oh, well, I guess it's my fault for coming and going at all the wrong times. I wonder how the trial ended. Is it over? Guess I can at least look into some things here on my end. Say, Vera, you're a forger, right? That's... Relax, I'm just curious. It's just something I've heard. I haven't dug it from your head, honest. Have you ever moved on to anything beyond paintings? Never mind. Okay, she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Does that mean someone planted all those key cards in her studio? Is that why she's here? Is he going to be okay? Our mutual friend? I'm sure it'll be fine. I've been trying to help where I can, here and there. Not that he's too appreciative of it. If there's anything I can do to help, I'll let you know. Thanks. And thanks for listening. It's a lot and probably doesn't mean much when added up, but it does count for something to someone. Oh. That's an oddly wholesome relationship here. We have places we can go. Let's go to the smoking area. Who's smoking? You look busy. Oh, look who it is. Glad to see you out of your room. Yes, you certainly gave the impression that you're happy to see my pretty face. I was trying to be sociable. And you weren't too good at it. Now you know. What am I supposed to do with my newfound knowledge? Stay quiet forever? Oh, I don't think I'm going to do that. Consider me shocked. Hi, Angel. What are you up to? I've quite a few papers there. I've been looking over those notebooks. A turnabout with too many faces. Sure, let's call them that. I mean, the name's right on the covers. I'm trying to think about the culprit's intent in leaving them behind. For instance, let's take a look at the first one. Well, there's a lot of stuff about the Van Dyne Museum and its security. It's fundamentally a report on me. My address, my history, my current jobs, tabs of my boyfriends. Our fiend has certainly been busy. Similarly, second volume is a pretty thick folder on Miss Basil. There's also her company's role in Van Dyne's security. Right, but you're missing the point. Yes, all the talk about Van Dyne's security and the Golden Mask pretty much confirms. And while we are trapped here, something is happening back in the city. Us being trapped here is some means of accomplishing that. Whatever it is, I think it's a safe bet that we'll be released as promised. I doubt it'll be that simple. Don't you get it? The fiend is leaving these behind as a threat. Each day he'll show us a dossier of us as if to say, I can get you at any point. The fact that he's trapped us in this hotel shows that they have power and influence to boot. I am beyond convinced that when the fourth day comes, we'll be asked to participate in this scheme to some degree. Could be a matter as simple as lying. Could be more. I can't tell. But mark my words, nothing good awaits us on the fourth day. Sorry. Too pessimistic for you. Just thinking, that's all. Asked to participate? There's a trial happening in parallel to this, with Star and Lisa testifying, supposedly. Are we somehow leaping forward in time? Even if we're experiencing the various parts of Nick's trial, one after the other, there's no evidence that the trial was continued over 2 new days, despite our mind-reading protagonist here latching on to Nick's trial each night they go to sleep. If the real pair are here, those on the stand must have been imposters. If that's the case, will the fiend ask them to hide the fact that we were trapped here? Will they get Star and Basil to play along with the testimonies the fakes give? How much do you know about the Nightingale Hotel, exactly? If you're asking me if I know who the current owner is, I don't. That said, a boyfriend of mine once wrote copy for this place, so I know some general things. Nightingale was originally designed as a massive train station. A train station? Out here? This was a decade or so ago, and the climate wasn't this bad. It actually made a lot of sense. The station at World's End, they wanted to call it. They had it all figured out. The infrastructure, the train routes. I think they even started some construction, but then the main investor pulled out. The project ground to a screeching halt until it was inevitably abandoned. Years later, when somebody decided it'd be a good idea to have a hotel here. I gotta say, it was probably a smart move. It makes for a good skiing spot, and the property must have been cheap enough after all this time. I see. Are you satisfied with my answer? Yeah, I'd say so. Good. Now you'll answer a question of mine for a change. Uh-oh. Yeah, what's your question? I'm getting a sneaking suspicion that all four of us are connected. I don't know what your dossier will look like, but I can take a guess. The investor who pulled out for the Nightingale project I just mentioned? His name I do remember. Your last name is the same as his. So I'm thinking you should already have some knowledge about this place. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I mean, don't get me wrong, my dad has money. A decade ago. Yeah. Much at the time he was on the top of the world. Being a jewel dealer leaves you with a surprising amount of spare cash. So, why'd he pull out? Well, it depends on when it happened, but if this is my dad we're talking about, I'd imagine it's because of a priceless jewel of his got misplaced. Pardon? It's a real big and a real important jewel, and when he lost it, all hell broke loose. Doesn't even get into what happened when it was revealed who stole it. Oh? Sounds vague to me. I don't owe you my life history. I have nothing to do with this, and tomorrow, when we get out, you'll see that, I hope. I can't give you any more information because I don't have any information. I don't know anything about this place. I don't know why we're here. The first point, I can believe you. The second point, I'm skeptical of. If I told you, you'd be even more skeptical, so what's the point? Unfortunate. Well, I'll get back to my work now, if you don't mind. Pleasure, as always. God, I'm really curious to learn your name now. Lounge was Vera? Lounge was Vera. Upstairs hallway. You're not looking too great. Oh, it's you! Don't mind me, I am just observing the morning atmosphere. How are you? I don't think I want to be here anymore. Well, not like you wanted to be here to begin with, right? I do believe that I'm starting to, catch cabin fever. Mind you, you seem like nice people, but, I'm a bit nervous as to what will happen tomorrow. Well, hopefully what the fiend promised, right, will be released. Yes, I suppose so. Well, it doesn't take a mind reader to tell something's weighing you down. Let's try and see what, preferably without crossing any boundaries. Settle down your mind. Could you keep a secret? I do not want to trouble anyone or cause unnecessary panic. However, after reading that second notebook, I am, in all honesty, terrified for my life. I think we're not alone here. What do you mean? Did you find the bloodstain? On the very first night here, I saw the fiend. What? Fiend? Did you let him in? Obviously, I can't say for certain whether or not it was the fiend, but it most certainly wasn't any of us four. You saw his face? Yes. Obviously, we had discussed the possibility that someone was secretly roaming these halls. I was under the impression there was a silent agreement the fiend was somewhere here. I worried that if I brought it up, Star would lead a charge to find him. I did not want to agitate our host, you see. But you've seen the fiend's face, right? Not so loud! Sorry. As I've said, I can't tell for certain whether or not it was the fiend. If someone's here hiding from us, and they're probably at least aligned with him. Really said the fiend was just one person anyway. Could you describe him for me? I'm not much of an artist, but I think you can agree I do a pretty good portrait, right? Well, wrong voice. You want to draw him? Should be solid evidence for the police, right? And there's a target on our backs. Okay, hard way it is, I guess. And face. You're thinking of it right now, aren't you? It saves me the trouble of trying to find that memory. Why are you pulling out the sketch pad? I won't tell you. It's for your own good. Oh, no worries. It's just a good reminder that I should do my drawing for the day. Oh, my mistake then. Ah! Hello, Ronnie! May I see what you've drawn? Ah, sorry. Not quite perfect yet. Drawing of stranger pocketed. Yeah! I gotta show you this. Type evidence, question mark? Submitted by Lisa Basil's memory. A drawing of the person Lisa Basil saw sneaking around the Nightingale Hotel on the first night of the Fiend's entanglement. This is very much Ronnie. Good goodness. I would really appreciate it if you kept this between us. I'm certain that we will be released tomorrow. I'm sorry for burdening you with this. In fact, feel free to forget everything. Are you certain I can't take a peek what you've drawn there? Sorry. Something, artist's pride. Yes, of course. Is that all I got from you? You want to take a peek at it? I'm not going to show her that. Entrance area. Blood stain under the rug is still there. I haven't told anyone. No noticed any strange behavior from any of them. What does this mean? Trace of blood. It's not Dad. I mean, it doesn't even matter, even if it is, right? He's never been the best guy around. But for crying out loud, he'd never have a hand in this. Can't let Star get in my head. Wright's memory says she's a detective. And she told me that herself. Can't say for sure anymore. Oh. This is all wrong. We're all connected. We're too connected. I've seen Wright's memory. I've seen her in them. Did you do this somehow? No, of course not. You're dead. You're not here. Her being your sister? Who are you? I am really curious. You're not here and you can't hurt me. I'm stronger than you. I've always been. Not even you could read minds. I'm really interested to meet you. I am in control. My thoughts are my own. She isn't here. She's just a memory. Just a memory. Oh, back to right we go. Drucy? We're in jail now. Listen, in my defense, it's not like I try and get arrested. It's not an issue and you know it. I just didn't want you to worry. I mean, you were busy with the magic show and everything. Oh, so when was I supposed to find out? When you were in jail? I'm not going to jail. Listen, the fact that the trial isn't continuing today has to mean they've run into issues. Also means that I'm definitely not making it to Edgeworth's party. Hopefully he isn't too mad about it. Okay, so we did continue on. First day. Issues for the police are good. Because where I'm standing, they've got a mess on their hands. I still should have known. We're supposed to be partners in crime. I don't think you're supposed to use that phrase in a detention center. Daddy. I know. I messed up. The honest truth is that I'm ashamed I found myself in this situation to begin with. I guess I just figured if I fixed it before anyone found out, it'd go away. You shouldn't have a dad that does what I do. Especially when he could be doing something better. After clean up my act. I know that. I've known it for a while. The fact that I'm not doing anything about it is the problem. I'll be honest, I don't think I can keep up this mysterious hobo persona anymore. I'm starting to drink my own Kool-Aid. Jeez, don't need to be so dramatic. You're doing your best. Screwing up's fine. But I can't have you hiding things from me ever again. We clear? Yeah. Yeah, we're clear. Paul's your half-brother. No, why would you say that? Now of all times. Oh, that's adorable. You think we did figure that one out ourselves ages ago. Eh? Maybe it really is time to leave this hobo shtick behind. It's made you too cocky. Do not take this as a challenge to drop the "your mom's alive" bomb. Eh. Can't deny it. Sitting across Clavier was dredging up my cockiest and worst moment of my career. Sound like the job of some good old-fashioned memory repression. God, please no, I don't want to forget anything ever again. And speaking of, we should probably get down to business. You've been to the club. Lucky for us, Emma's the one in charge of Mr. Delight's case. She's not too thrilled about it. Putting directly, there's nothing worse than getting to the scene and realizing it's a locked room murder. Ah, you bastard. You did it again. You did it again. I came in soaking in the cool, old-fashioned, the cool, nifty, unique timeline shenanigans, a cool, interesting, mysterious protagonist with mind-reading powers. And then we're 3 hours in, and then you drop the locked room murder on us, dude. With a mask. You played me like a damn fiddle. You sucked me in, and then you dropped the locked murder on me.